Hi guys and welcome. Today I want to speak about the natural state of consciousness, your natural state of consciousness. And I believe that this is actually free will and love. Okay, free will and love. The more that you are going within yourself is the more that you are realizing that you are actually free. But sometimes you may get caught up in certain thought patterns. Sometimes you may get caught up in certain belief systems that are not serving you. Sometimes you may get caught up in certain emotional ways of being that are not serving you. And today is a message about freedom. Okay, freedom. So your natural state of consciousness is actually love. It is love. But when you get disconnected from your higher self, when you get disconnected from your creative way of being, it's like you are losing your power. And today's message is about a reminder that you have to go back home into your own self. You have to go back home into your natural way of being. Now, I believe that consciousness flows. Okay, it flows at times. It flows in a natural way. Our state of consciousness is like nature. Okay, our state of consciousness is like nature. The more that we are stepping into the flow state and the more that we are following the path of least resistance is the more that we are doing what nature does. Okay, it is the more that we are doing what nature does. So today's message is a reminder of you connecting back to your heart space. And what I believe to happen is the fact that we have to learn to really silence our minds and step into our body's consciousness. I've seen in my own journey that I had moments where, and maybe even now, sometimes I still have moments where I'm living too much in my head. But what I'm realizing is the fact that I gotta silence the mind and step into my body's intelligence, step into my heart's intelligence. So there is mind intelligence, but there is also heart intelligence. And the more that you are being connected to your intuition is the more that you're actually being connected to your higher self. Okay, so realize that the answer is in your own intuition. The intuition always speaks to you. The intuition always gives you the tools necessary to evolve. And you have to move from the head, from the mind, into the body, into your own intuition, into your own natural way of being. And the natural way of being is, again, it is free will and love. This is Christ consciousness. This is the consciousness of the angelic realms. This is the consciousness of the spirit. This is the consciousness of where you are evolving at a harmonious level. Okay? So realize that sometimes it's okay to get disconnected. Okay? Sometimes it's okay to be out of alignment. Because I believe that our lower nature also has things to teach us. Okay, so there is the higher self and there is the lower self, and the lower self may be the self that is resisting. The lower self may be the self that is out of alignment, but it is also a teacher. Okay, so you have to learn things about yourself. Okay, you have to get to know yourself in the process. And I believe that when we are being disconnected, we have the opportunity to connect again. And we do this by accepting our feelings unconditionally. We do this by loving ourselves unconditionally. We do this by stepping from fear into love. So realize that sometimes it takes courage. Okay, sometimes it takes courage for you to be who you really are. Sometimes it takes you taking responsibility for what you feel, for what you think, for what you do into the world, for how you choose to react to certain things. My suggestion is follow the path where you are respecting your choices. Follow the path where you are really connected to a deeper source of consciousness. Okay? So our natural state of consciousness is the consciousness of source. It is the consciousness of the spirit. It is the consciousness of freedom and of free will. I believe that free will is our natural way of being, and nothing can take away your free will. Okay, nothing can take away your free will. You are taking away your free will when you are abandoning yourself. But let it go. Let it go. Sometimes you have to learn to let go and step into a new way of being. Okay, so I've seen in my own journey that I had some energies that were wounding me. And what I'm realizing is the fact that I have to love myself unconditionally. I have to let go of the things that are not authentic. I have to let go of the things that are not serving me, okay? So I'm realizing that there are certain energies that we can actually connect to. And this energy sometimes may be beneficial, but sometimes may be out of alignment. And we have to find ways to step back into our natural way of being. We have to find ways to step back into our natural state of consciousness, which again is free will and love. It is the consciousness of the angels. It is the consciousness of the universe. It is the consciousness in which everything is actually interconnected. Okay? So realize that your natural way of being waits for you to connect to. Okay? Your natural way of being waits for you to make the connection from fear to love, from separation to oneness, from a lack of potential to creativity, to responsibility. Okay? So nothing can touch your natural state of consciousness, but sometimes you get vulnerable, sometimes you get scared, maybe sometimes you get wounded, sometimes you get out of alignment, and you are getting disconnected from this natural state of being. But my suggestion is find little ways to find vibrational alignment again. Find little ways to make the connection again. Okay? So realize that whatever you are experiencing within yourself is so important. And really you have to master what is happening within yourself. You have to learn to love what is happening within yourself. And maybe you have to learn to love even your negative emotions, your negative feelings, because you don't have to expect yourself to be perfect in this process. You have to let go of perfection and you have to step into a non-perfect action. Okay? So maybe it's not even about what you accomplish. It's more likely about the feelings that you are getting out of your creative processes. Okay? So realize that if you want to connect to your natural state of consciousness, maybe you have to let go of perfection. You have to let go of the outcome, even the outcome. You have to let go even of the outcome and step into your natural ways of being, your natural way of consciousness. Okay? So your natural state of consciousness is freedom. And you realize that freedom is actually your birthright. You realize that you are already free. But again, sometimes you may get disconnected. Sometimes you may get into lower states of consciousness. And when you go there, you have to remind yourself that it is actually okay to experience that. But at the same time, give yourself a break and learn to silence the mind and connect back to your own intuition. Okay? So you have to let go and you have to be courageous. This is what I'm realizing in my own journey. That the only thing that is keeping me stuck is actually fear. And I have to face my fear. If you want to connect to your natural state of consciousness, you have to face even your fears and your own shadows. Okay? You have to really follow the path of least resistance. Okay? And you have to realize that you have to see fear as excitement. Okay? Because fear may not be real. Fear may be false evidence appearing real. But when you see fear as excitement, it's like you are playing a different game. You are playing the game where you are reflecting the archetype of the hero, the archetype of the magician maybe, the archetype of higher consciousness and awareness. Okay? So realize that your mind is so powerful. Realize that also your emotional body is so powerful. And really you have to learn to make a deeper connection with your own inner world. You have to learn to make a deeper connection with what is happening inside of your own self. And my suggestion is seek purity. You don't have to operate from the ego. You don't have to operate from separation. You have to learn to forgive. And you have to realize that the best revenge is no revenge. You have to realize that the best revenge is no revenge. Okay? So yes, your natural state of consciousness awaits for you. Okay? It waits for you to make the connection. And how do you do this? Well, you look within yourself. You take the action that feels good in your own soul. You learn to master your own feelings. You learn to accept even your shadows and your own imperfections. And you will see that with time, you will actually grow into a new state. With time, you will actually awaken the wings of higher consciousness. You will awaken the state of consciousness that is your most authentic signature. Okay? So you have a soul signature. You have your own way of being. You have your own unique ways of expressing yourself. Go ahead and follow your intuition, because again, your higher self speaks to you through your own intuition. So this was today's message about your natural state of consciousness. Realize that it's happening with a higher purpose. And it's happening with the purpose for you to make the connection from fear into love, from fear into courage, from separation into connection and oneness. Okay, so if you are new to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, that is appreciated. And like always, see you on what is coming up next. Realize that the power is within yourself. Make the choice of love and see magic happen into your own life. I love you so much, guys. Much peace, and see you on what is coming up next. Bye bye.